from Diary of a Physicist Farmgal, and I'm going to do a quick DIY video today on how I plant my potatoes in potato bins. Okay, so here's another little DIY video for you. I've been growing my potatoes in potato bins the last few years to make it more convenient. I just take some fencing wire and I make a circle. I cut a piece that's long enough. I use I think it's about, what, 2.5, 3 feet. And I layer it with straw and compost. I've cut it long enough to make a circle about 3.5, 4 feet in diameter. And I use a leftover nursery pot in the center because it's got holes in the bottom of it and it'll distribute the water a little bit better. So I layer it with straw and then compost. I've got 2 of them here. And I plant my potatoes in them, my seed potatoes, but I also plant on top lettuces, or you can seed carrots or radishes. I'm just using my compost mix here, which is easy enough to come out when you're on. I've got my potato bins filled here. Like I said, I've got 2 of them, and I filled them with a mixture of my compost, which is a combination of all the droppings that I collect, whether it's horses or rabbits or whatever. The horses I compost down for about a year. The rabbit you can pretty well put straight out on the garden. It's like goat droppings. I've got a mixture of that and some straw here to keep it draining nicely. I've got where some grass had grown up the sides last year that I've mowed down, but I've got these fixed up, and so now I'll go get my seed potatoes and get them cut up and get ready to plant them. Okay, so I've got my seed potato pieces here that I cut from my potatoes that I got at the co-op. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dust them with some agricultural sulfur that helps protect them against fungus and rotting. So I'm going to just put a little bit in a paper sack and throw some pieces in there and kind of shake it around like shake and bake chicken and coat them with a little bit of sulfur. Okay, I've got them planted. I planted them around the perimeter here. I planted them about 3 to 4 inches deep. I put them about 5 to 6 inches apart, which is a little more crowded than I would have them, but you would normally plant them in hills of 2 or 3. So now what I'm going to do is I have some lettuces and some arugula and some spinach that I'm going to set in on the top of these, and by the time the potatoes need the soil, those things will long have since bolted from the heat. So I'm going to go get those and put those in there. So now I've got my arugula and my spinach and my lettuces planted, and I am filling up these with water. And this will distribute the water down into the bottom of the bin really well. I'll also water the top as well. That makes for a great little garden. It's great for somebody who has limited space or just wants something simple. Suburban gardens would be great for this. You don't have to use stencil. You could use straw bales to do the same thing with, I think. But anyway, so that's my potato bin. Okay, so I finished my planting of my potato bins, as you saw, and then I made a bucket of manure tea here, which is exactly what you think it is. It's actually I cleaned out from underneath one of the rabbit cages and put it in a 5-gallon bucket, and then I filled it up with water, and I will let it steep for a few days, and then I'll use that to water my roses and my vegetables and everything else. As a nice organic fertilizer. It's free just for the time, you know. I guess the water costs a little bit, but who cares. I also went ahead and planted my broccoli and my cabbages, and I covered them with some floating row cover to try to help ward off the cabbage worms. So I'm going to try to do a better job this year with my garden. As I have said in the past, I've kind of let it get away from me, so I'm trying to plant smarter and earlier this year than I normally do to try to get out ahead of the hot weather we'll get in June and July and August. So now I'm going to go inside and clean out the ducklings tub, put them some fresh shavings down, and that's pretty much going to be it. But I thought if you enjoy, like I said, I am not an expert. I have had pretty good luck with my potato bins in the past, so I hope that I continue to do that. I use specially bought seed potatoes from the feed store because they are, I guess you would call them open pollinated potatoes. And so I can take some potatoes that I grow this year and use them again next year if I want to try the same variety. This year I got Kennebec Reds, I believe. In the past I've done Yukon Golds, and I've done purple fingerling potatoes. So yeah, I like the idea of reusing the seeds if we can. And I mean, I have actually thrown potatoes out that I have bought in the store in the compost, and they have come up and made potatoes. So I suppose where there's a will, there's a way. But anyway, so that's all for my little DIY video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm not an expert. It's just what works for me, and maybe you can get something out of it. And I'll try to do some more of these throughout the year as the garden comes along, and as we get into doing some canning and some preserving and stuff. So until I see y'all again, y'all take care of each other, and peace out. Bye.